Oh my god.
Woo! Yes!
Hurthy. Actually, Fern, not yet. Frieren is still Hurthy. You'll be there, though.
You're an apprentice, Fern.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Vontae, the first today portion of Mugen Eclipse.
And it's me, Mr. Twitchy, the night portion of Mugen Eclipse. Pigtails hidden behind my headphones today. If you want to see that, you have to watch episode 1 or the opening reaction.
Oh, we're taking it out? Bet. I'm taking it out.
But, no. I wasn't going to take them out, but it's fine. It's fine. Yes, we are back with episode 2 of Frieren. I thought, from a manga reader's perspective, that episode 1 was done so carefully and so it was a purposeful decision, all the choices that they made, and I can really respect that because they are setting a tone with this particular series.
My view on the first episode was really dope. I like the concept of us pretty much accomplishing and finishing a 10-long journey mission, defeating this demon lord or demon king or whatever. And now we're in the epilogue. One of the homies, his name is Himmel. He is him. He ends up passing away. And then now we have 2 other homies within the squad that are getting old, and their time might be coming too. So Frieren, I was just saying off camera right now, I was theorizing. I'm thinking that, well, maybe she won't make an elixir or something to make people or someone immortal or live longer. Maybe she might do something that will poison herself to make herself, like, I guess you could say, expedite her death.
Yeah.
Just get closer to her death, because I don't know, I just feel that, especially the way that her friends talk about death and how they were quote unquote comfortable until they weren't comfortable no more. Like, that alone to me kind of just goes to show that maybe she is intrigued by that more than she's intrigued by the idea of them living as long as she does. Because she kind of does seem a bit bored at times, which would make sense. So maybe she wants to just die and go to heaven, because we do know that there is a heaven. The episode started out talking about that. So I don't know.
I mean, it's a great question to ask. I feel like this series really does allow us to have a lot of philosophical discussions about life, about ethics, about just the human psyche from a psychological perspective. Like, I can imagine just seeing all of your friends die, even let's just say in real life, if you're like 65, if you start seeing all your friends pass away before you, like, that's gotta be incredibly depressing. And for her to have a longer life than most humans, I'm not gonna confirm or deny if she's actually immortal. It doesn't really matter at this point. But, like, she lives a much longer life as compared to her human counterparts. And what does that do to her psyche at the end of the day?
Hopefully she doesn't have no self-loathing or anything within that realm of things. Because I'm just thinking about it in real life, like you just said. Like, because technically speaking, if you die, it's nothing. I don't want to sound morbid, but, like, compared to somebody that's seeing people die, obviously that is going to stay with you because you're alive to feel that. But to die, it's like you're not experiencing that like how your friend would if you were to, you know what I mean? So I don't know how that affects people's psyche, and I know people in real life literally go through that all the time. Pretty much everybody has to go through that. So it just makes sense, especially if you're somebody like her. That is even worse, because you're going to be living for years upon years, and everybody you have any kind of connection to dies. So she would probably want to die as well. Like, damn, where y'all go? Why am I still here? So but yeah, man, I ain't got nothing else to say before I hop into this episode. So if you will,
I will leave us off on this corny joke. As Omni-Man said, and we will be watching season 2 in November. What will you have after 500 years?
Pets. Okay, anyway. All right, well, let's get into this episode 2 of Frieren. Let's get into it right about now. Second.
Why does, like, the Dark Ages food always look so appetizing?
I know, right?
Like, nowadays, bread is just disgusting.
Right?
Like, if I went back in time, that'd be the... Oh, R.I.P. Snowman. If I went back in time and ate some bread, it'd just be the best thing ever.
Come on, don't tell me. Oh no, he about to die.
He did say it would
She's
take
learning.
6 or 7 years.
She said the word patient to her, so yeah. Wow.
I hate broccoli.
You're too old to be throwing them vegetables away.
You're a child.
You can do whatever you want, though.
Yeah.
You're an old man. Do whatever you want.
Oh.
But if you just want a few more years, you got to eat them vegetables, huh? I can write like that. I can't. Oh.
I love the changing color palette.
Yeah, that was dope. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You've been.
Oh, this reminds me of Spherical. Once I stop moving, I die.
And it's the storm too.
Yeah, the storm. Golly, laser beam.
Yeah, I like the sound design for that too. They say it was not healthy. She's been studying too hard.
Yeah, but that's the goal he set out in front of her. If she can't accomplish that before he dies.
He said, "This is my I am here moment. He has to be here to see this."
Oh, look at that war-torn society.
War orphan. Was she about to jump off?
Yes!
Wow.
And how does it go back to death? This whole conversation is because Himmel died. Shout out Dr. Hiruluk.
Right. Yep. You don't want to go before you're able to learn things.
And it's also like she's not just the main character, but she's also the sensei character, which I feel is just a brilliant choice by the mangaka.
The birds.
Birds aren't real. Also, I didn't really mention it in the first episode, but like the camera work has been almost revolutionary. Like we're doing like rotoscoping.
Yeah, I noticed it when he was talking to her, and when he was telling her about like, oh, like I want to live a few more years. When he was walking out the room, oh my god!
Woo! Yes.
Hurthy. Actually, Fern, not yet. Frieren is still hurthy. You'll be there though.
You're an apprentice, Fern. What a line.
He's pretty interesting though, because like he still has fear of death, but at the same time he also accepts, or he also enjoys the fact that he's learned a lot of things. It's just showing how human he is, because he's done everything. I mean, what would there to be scared of at that point? You don't really have anything else to quote unquote prove or do, but it's that human in him.
So I don't know if you caught that, but he used his own death in order to give Fern a new life.
Right. Huh. It's Fern and Frieren.
Fern and Frieren, double Fs.
And E's and R's and N's. So then the red hair guy, his name's gonna be, I don't know,
Falcon.
Nefru. By the way, these thumbnails are gonna be good from us.
Oh, it's gonna be so fun.
There's a lot you can use.
Yep. He is such a linchpin in this story.
He's him.
He's him.
So he's like one of the perfect foils of a character. Like,
oh, absolutely.
This is like the foil. Like, that's ridiculous.
Got the rock.
Or for the day only, man. Look how saucy he is. I already see it.
He's like, it's lit in the afterlife.
It didn't have to be magic. Yeah. Gotta have a hobby at this point, you know.
Mm-hmm. But the question
I'll be
is
doing
it a
all random
hobby
shit,
or
too.
does she love it?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's
Whoa!
It really does remind me of that statue from Black Clover.
Yeah.
The Wizard King. Mahote.
He spent 18 hours posing.
He's him.
Got pet squirrels? Even her perception of time is just different from her surrounding cohorts.
Yeah.
She sleeps like Bert. I'm really liking how they're doing. I'm really liking how they're doing the montage. There's various sections of the manga to where they do that. How many years has this been?
You just never know.
There you go.
You see what I mean?
She's like, those are rookie numbers.
That's 6 months or whatever. Like, you could do a same montage and it could say like 5 years later. And it'll be the same exact kind of montage. You just wouldn't know until they tell you. And that scares me. It really gets you into the point of the perspective of Frieren, though. It really does. I'm going to keep saying that because that's pretty dope.
It always keeps the viewer guessing in terms of, like, is this time skip going to be a week? Is this time skip going to be a decade?
Yep. And I don't think I've seen this much where an author will really give you that perspective of the main character in a way like this. Because the way that we see these time skips is the way that Frieren sees these time skips too, like really quick. That's another thing with Frieren too. I wonder, does, like how she was talking about her maturity, I wonder if like she also doesn't change, like she changes really slowly too, if that makes sense. Like, will it take her like a long time to have like a different perspective on life? Or can she learn that relatively sooner than we would think?
And there's the question. Oh, I forgot about this.
Residuals from footprints?
Yeah.
Or using magic?
More apathetically.
Right, that's interesting. Because, like, how do you... I don't get how much more you can be than that. It's not like she's negative about it either. It's just,
oh, there it is.
By the way, I think all the OSTs so far fit the scenes perfectly.
100%.
Ooh, some vocal OST. Nice. Nice.
The transparency of those feels real. And episode title.
Nice.
Beautiful.
I wonder, so that's gonna be the thumbnail for this episode. We're gonna have it around our heads.
Yeah.
Nice. That was another good episode. I like that she's, like you said, she's a sensei. We got an MC that's a sensei in episode 2.
Yeah.
When have you seen that? Where have you seen that?
We haven't.
I'm not even talking about sequels. This is the first thing here. Once again, really unique. I just know it's gonna start hitting more and more as we keep going on. Like, especially for me specifically, like, because I'm not familiar with characters as much as you are right now. But like, once the episodes keep coming in, and then more things from the past and coming back to the present and all that kind of stuff, and maybe even her new journey, you know, with Fern and whoever else she ends up meeting, it's gonna hit more and more. I could tell it's gonna be a series that's just gonna hit every single episode, just more and more slowly. But
the connections are built through Frieren from the present to the past. Like, Frieren is the central link between those two, and how she accomplishes it is via magic. And I am a huge Harry Potter fan, guys. Like, I grew up reading the books, watching the movies, playing the video games every now and then on a PC.
Rest in peace to
Sir. Oh God, I'm sorry. We'll include you in the editing. I promise. Twitchy editor Twitchy will not forget you. But yes, there is just something magical about magic, and yes, that does sound cliche, but honestly, when I was a kid, like, there's just the imagination that grew out of me from those books. I got to a certain point when I was growing up that just the magic was gone. Like, Santa's not real, Tooth Fairy, you know, sorry to spoil it to you, Easter Bunny, you know, all that jazz, and you just don't get that sense of wonder anymore. And one thing I love about this series is you get to see from essentially a sensei's perspective. Like, she still finds that wonder in new spells. Oh, a spell to make sour or sweet grapes sour. When are you ever going to use that? But at least you got to have that experience. Like a spell to clean off rust. Oh, when is that ever going to be helpful? Oh, I don't know. When you're taking the rust off of a statue of your best friend. Like, just the connections. And then when they were saying in terms of she's just doing like side quests, that's essentially what adventuring is. And the rewards for those side quests, she got to fulfill a promise to her friend after his passing, because she finally got to see the flowers. Like, it's just so interwoven and connected. The writing in this series, it shocks me sometimes of how good it is.
I'm not gonna lie, Himmel is really him, because now that I think about it, and everything you reference, it goes back to him all the time. Even from what's his name, the priest, Hater. It's interesting. I wonder if Himmel does that. It seems like he does do it on purpose. The look on his face and like stuff from the past, like it's almost like he does these things on purpose so that Frieren can, like, you know, in the future, you know, when he's gone, everybody else is gone, she can still find happiness and excitement for things, or nostalgia too, from all these scenes. Because that's crazy if he intentionally does these things so that she can still feel nostalgia and joy. So he tries to like in the past, he tries to do as much as he can because he know he can't be there as long. That's crazy.
Yes,
that's crazy.
Yes,
that's insane.
There's a common phrase. It's like, don't forget to smell the flowers, which is a perfect phrase for this particular episode. And I don't know if you caught that in the flashback portion when they were at that abandoned church, or the war-torn church. She actually made the field of flowers bloom, and just like the look of joy on their faces. And even she flipped it, or Himmel flipped it on Frieren at the end. He's like, okay, yeah, that was great. Like, why are you short selling yourself on the amazing feat you just performed? Like, I'm going to one-up you. I'm going to promise to show you these flowers from my hometown. That I never got the chance to, obviously, because of the difference in their lifespans. But, man, he's telling her to smell the flowers on her immortal journey.
It's crazy because Hater, like, he was even saying, like, yeah, Himmel, I've learned a lot from him. You know, without him, I would be pretty much an empty person until, you know, the day that I died. And for somebody like him, he feels that, like, man, I wish I just had a few more years. Himmel was not necessarily like that. He's like, yo, I'm gonna, live my life as good as I can in present time, and then I will allow my friends or anybody that can outlive me to also still enjoy the memory of myself, not in a selfish way, obviously, but like in like I said, a nostalgic way, and because he knows that, well, if I die, then people outlive me, I gotta at least, especially for Frieren specifically, say, yeah, I need her to keep on enjoying life until the day she dies, and she can do the same thing for other people. Because when you think about it now, Frieren is a character that she'll be able to do that tenfold. Like for Fern, for example.
Just imagine how many connections she's gonna have moving forward, just based on her sheer lifespan.
Right. And shit, even if she comes up like to like another younger elf or something like that, she can give them that kind of teach them that in a way. I don't know, indirectly or directly, whichever way. It's kind of dope. She is a really good bridge, and Himmel's a really good foil. It's a lot of that going on in this story that I feel that I can see why people say that this is really unique, because it does things that I don't think other mangaka, not to say that they're not aware or that they're not conscious of these things, but I think that to make that, like what we were talking about for this episode between her and Himmel, to make that like a huge like character, I'll just call it like a character trait with them.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think I've seen that in any other story, and it makes it. And even in real life, you shouldn't, by the time you die, you shouldn't really regret, like, oh, I wish I spent more time with this. Himmel was like, I live in the present time. I do as much as I can. I'm not gonna have any regrets, because I know you guys are gonna be good. I know I'm gonna die peacefully. So we all good. That's a good mindset to have. That's dope.
Yeah, and you also pair that with the fact that we started off this story at the end of their story, or at least the climax of their battle against the Demon Lord. Like they won. They achieved peace, and then they got to live out the rest of their lives in peace. Like, you don't always get that, especially with like Demon Lord stories. Like, there's times to where like you think he's actually going to, take over and make life a living hell for all humans on the planet, and this one, they stopped him. And because they stopped him, they were able to enjoy their lives. And like, oh man.
Good discussion too. This is fire. I ain't got nothing else to say because I know I ran my mouth a lot, but hey.
No, I'm glad you're enjoying it so far, Vante. Again, this is one of my favorite reads from last year was Frieren, and I wish I would have continued more into the story, but at least I got the end now.
Yeah. It'll be cool, so you can get some blind reactions too going for this as well. Yep. But yeah, man, we say this at the end of every video. Hope you guys all have a good one. Please stay tuned. We're gonna have more Frieren coming out for the remainder of the season. 2 consecutive cores, correct? So
correct.
You guys will be seeing this every week until the end. So without further ado, I'll let you guys all have a good one. So please stay safe, stay healthy, stay clean. See you guys all in the next video, and peace.